Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the moneymakers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Laurel Langmeyer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Very excited to have you all here. We're doing a webinar that we've been doing now for over 15 years. Very excited to have it. Very excited to have you all on for today's live broadcast. We're going to be all of our social channels from Facebook to YouTube to Pinterest and some of the other ones in between. So I want to have everyone participating in the social channels or on Zoom here. And I'm very excited to have you attend this New Year, New You webinar itself. So as always, if you're joining us on Zoom, you can add in your questions in the chat box or the Q&A box below as a way to interact with the team. We always try to get to those questions during the live stream and make this interactive. So if you have things you want to bring up or things you want to ask, go ahead and type it in there. And Laurel, as we're starting today, what's one thing they should type into the chat box as we get going?
That's what I was thinking. I think that we should start with, first, the easy stuff. Where are you calling in from? Hi, Jay. I think the easy stuff, but more importantly, we're going to talk about commitments. This is a new year and a new you. So let's just get some trial practices. What is a commitment that you want for 2021? Let's just get some, where are you calling from and what your commitment is? Oh, wow. Thomas started it out. I'm committed to doubling my income this year.
Little example there for everyone. And if you're on the social channels, go ahead and just type it in there as well, too. I know we have thousands of people in our Millionaires in Training Facebook group. Would love to see the feedback on there as well, too. Yep.
And I'm just going to give some feedback right away. Jay, keeping the momentum going, that's a comment. That's not a commitment. So commitment, I'm going to coach Thomas a little. So think smart. We'll review it. So specific, measurable, achievable. You want some reality, some real time frame, right? So I would say R&T is some real time frames to it. So he's got the year in there, got the double, which is specific, measurable. So you may want to say how are you going to do that? So, a little more on that. And we already know it's achievable, probably because I know him though. So, let's get really clear. Launch or at least make 10,000 a month to start. By when, Michelle, be clearer. The more clear you can be, the better this thing's going to go. And we are going to be together for 21 days in this process.
And that is a great goal-setting acronym that I know you're going to be working through there, Laurel. If you want to go through that one more time on the SMART goals, I'll type that up. So it's specific.
Yep. Specific, measurable, achievable. So achievable, it would be no fantasy island stuff. So you can't say, I'm going to make 100,000 a month when you haven't even made 10. I mean, you could maybe by the end of the year, but the chances without, I'm going to say it frankly, our mentoring, good luck, because you got a lot of systems to put in and you got to spend that money properly. And then it's the reality. So there's a realness to it, right? Is it real? Is it like something people are going to buy? And then there's a timeline to it. Nancy Cable, What Happened to Nature's? As far as I know, they're still up and running, but I'll take a note and make sure I get back to you personally on that. I will take some notes for those of you that are in the big table. Also, just one quick announcement before we jump in, because we have a lot of content. We're going to go well into past an hour. So get a pen and paper. You will have a replay of this because you know me, I'm going to go quick. We're going to cover a lot, very specific content. And then tomorrow from 10 to 6 p.m. Pacific, right? We have a big table. Never done one like this before, but we got to put it in. So we got a Q4 October. We were in Kansas, but this was too many months to go without our big table, folks. So we are well into hundreds registered. If you are on the big table, Thomas, maybe put the big table link. And by the way, if you're not in the big table and you try to register, Miss Jordan is going to call you and say, wasn't that cute? Just pay for your tuition, sign a contract, and then you get to go. So it is for big table members that are fully committed. And at 10 o'clock, we are going to do new. We have a brand new grid on financial infrastructure, how that's going to work for you. And we have conversation circles and expert panels. We're going to do a transition. And then in the afternoon, will be all about alternative education, investing, strategies, and new stuff coming. So fairly new process of content that's coming in. Again, 21 days later on January 6th, we'll do our second day. So we're going to do a 2-day table. It's just going to be spread out over 21 days, just like this. So this is really for everyone, as I'm going to say, our community at large. Dan, just really quick on a few things, said he didn't receive a confirmation. So Thomas, again, if you want to help Damon, let's get out a confirmation for exactly how to be in or put the link out. It is 1 day, all day. Cheap money, great financing. You are correct. It was awesome mortgage and still is a great, great time. Michelle, yep, you know what our wild card shuffle is, and you are going to win again. Awesome. So 2020, what was the biggest surprise opportunity that came out of it for you? Let's type that up and let's see what we all got up there. And by the way, we are recording to all live channels. You were able to sleep. Come on, let's keep it about money, people. Yeah, right? Didn't you love that? Yeah, we're going to have some really great cryptocurrency, digital currency education, how to use it on a more practical structure as we head into 2021. Got a lot of fun stuff. 6 degrees of separation went to 2. Totally correct. Awesome. All right, so let's jump. There we go. So 2021 wildcard shuffle. We have a brand new social sharing process we're going to put in. We have a lot of campaigns. So the way that this all works, and again, like Thomas said, I don't even remember the first year. It had to have been 15 years ago. We just said, we're one of the only communities that end the year in a very active structure and begin the year in a very active structure because it's money. This is that last moment to get it together. So you have got to get it together, get your structure together, make sure you are set, make sure 2020 isn't a loss. Just wash your hands of it. Now, all saying that, from a financial P&L standpoint, it might be a loss, but make sure you do the right carry forward losses in your tax returns. So I have kind of 3 big areas. We're going to go through a very specific process that I've taught now, which is kind of what we're known for years, and how to complete a year and begin another year. And then I have 2 awesome commitment campaigns that are going to be fun, keep us together and keep us interacting. So, like the only day probably someone won't be answering your, emails, texts, or phone calls is later on the 24th and the 25th. The whole team's going to go away. And then again, later on the 31st and 1st. If it's urgent, you will get handled. So that's who we're known for. We're known for always being available to you. And also, we will kind of determine if your crisis is a crisis, because some of you, we've been asking you to do some things for a while and you haven't done them. So before we get started, Steve, if you want to move to the next slide, again, educational purposes only. We have to put this up. We are going to talk about not as much today. I can tell you tomorrow, those of you that are in the big table, you're going to love the new conversation. It's always the same kind of conversation, but the depth and the level of intimacy that you're going to get as we prepared a resource team and an expert team for your, utilization, and really have been planning with them as a whole team. So super fun. That is very new and hasn't been done in years. So I think that's going to help a lot of you stay very, very connected. So again, educational purposes, we are going to talk in general, we'll always talk about tax, business, finance, law, things like that. Some of the things in 2021, go to the next slide, Steve, that were really important for us is to really look at, now that we are operating from Zoom, we're all becoming Zoombies, I call it, is we updated some things. So yes, our company is still Live Out Loud, but Live Out Loud became a very overused, every industry had it, from Oprah using it as a slogan to rappers using it as a song, Christian songwriters, Steve Curtis Chapman uses it as a Live Out Loud song, to SEO and to get traffic when every other vertical was out there. And Thomas, jump in whenever you want to add to this. It was crazy. It became ridiculous for us. So we said, well, who are we? And we got some really great branding. Integrated Wealth Systems is what we do. We help integrate your wealth, your system, your team. And again, our mission is committed to helping you, create and build wealth by changing your conversation about money, which is why we are so live with you all the time. We want to be our conversation in your household. We believe that what we're talking about should be taught in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. One of the other big things that's going to help get this in the households in a little bit delay is the book that Kyle and I wrote on how to create millionaire kids. So our book was going to be out actually August, September. We put a little bit of a focus group postponement on it. And now we are looking at a big New York publisher, actually the one that did my Millionaire Maker books, to bring it through as a 4th Millionaire Maker in the series. So super excited because our goal is to get in your household and get in this conversation, and super excited about what we're up to and how it's shifting in 2021 2020, it just was exhausting. It lasted a very long time. So what it caused us to do is become, I'd say, much more intimate in your businesses, a lot of decision-making and financial analysis of whether you should stay alive. I am going to say we have another initiative that will be going through the beginning of the year, currently on the site called supportnevada.com. You can watch us endorsing and supporting small business, the economics of small business, the fairness of small business. So huge initiatives that are starting and going on in the state of Nevada. And as we become successful, we'd love to share our strategy so your state can be successful. Some of you live in pretty wide open states, but some of you, your shutdowns are going to kill you. Like, it doesn't even make sense to stay open. So it is what it is. And this has been going on a long time. I don't see that there's going to be a big uplift. So you as the entrepreneur, you as the wealth builder, you've got to figure out in your household, how are you going to design 2021 that isn't going to be like, just shut the curtains and stay in your COVID coma. Let's just stop using that term and all of those, initiatives and say, how are you going to stay healthy as a business? And that's a huge part of it as we move into 2021 is to help you stay healthy as a business, financially viable, shift, transition, pivot, whatever word you want to use, to some other offers. What else are you going to offer people? One of my longtime friends and mentors challenged me the other day on a summit to do a program. He's been challenging me, I don't even know, for probably 3 to 5 years. He said, I need you to do a high-end class on how to buy and sell companies. And right now it is just necessary because a lot of you are sitting on money and you could keep these businesses alive in your community by being their financial partner. So there's never a time that Shark Tank has leveled the playing field. Every one of you live in communities where somebody somewhere has a business that needs financial help. So I am going to do that. We're committed to doing that. So watch our calendar. Our team, again, just like we're asking you to do, we put our heads down and we get to a lot of planning, a lot of rework, a lot of processes, and we'll be coming out with a 2021 calendar. We've already told you our new book. We're going to do a lot of crypto training, and I think this one I'm going to go do. So I'm curious, would you want to see a workshop like that called How to Buy and Sell Companies? So that's like from your local auto body shop to your local hair salon to your whatever, I don't care if it's your hobby store, your craft store, your wine store. Would you want to know how we actually look at it as a shark? How do we evaluate? How do we look? How do we transition? And then how do you put the deal together? Would you come to it if I know Roland Frazier really, really well. I love him. He's amazing. And there's a ton of nothing down opportunities, but and
a lot of response there in the chat box there, Laurel. What I love is that this is exactly what we talk about during our workshop, of which there's going to be one this week, where we pre-sell and get the idea for the business ahead of time. So love to see it in action there. Love to see it as a real life example for everyone. And it sounds like a lot of people would enjoy that course.
Yeah, good. So I'll have to go make it up. I know how to do it here. Just like when McGraw-Hill came to me in 2005 and said, we want you to write a book on money. And by the way, it wasn't named The Millionaire Maker until right before it came out. And I said, well, what do you want? And they said, well, you make millionaires. Show us how you do it. And I said, I don't know. I just go on real estate tours and people follow me around. And one day I started charging them $2,500 and $5,000 and they just do what I say. Well, where'd you write it down? I said, I don't have written anything down. So there you go. So this is another one. And I say that just in full transparency, because I think a lot of you, you're sitting on a lot of opportunities, but you don't know how to transfer it. You don't know how to translate it. So bring those opportunities to your coach. A lot of you that are out here, you are in our coaching programs. So just, engage in the things you're really wanting and learning. And it's how, we're in this conversation. That's why on the screen is conversations, because you can read a book and you can listen to something, but the way you interpret it is based on past thought. So if you don't have a lot of experience going on back here, when you say, I got to think about it or process it, you're processing it against a kind of a wrong baseline. So the conversation through laser calls, through fast cash calls, through all of our calls, help us make sure that with the way you're interpreting your plan and what you're going to be doing is accurate, because a little bit off means a lot off and a lot of, cogs in the wheel get broke. So if you put up the next screen, this is our up to date website. We're going to guide you all back to our integratedwealthsystems.com website. If you still have liveoutloud.com, it just forwards to here. This is a brand. It's not a company. And it's just where we are. And we'll be putting up a big burst on here. So Thomas and Steve, if you want to have Andrew put up a burst, if it's not there, about our New Year 21-day campaigns and processes. So Next slide. Again, the other thing we did is we moved all of our everything from being an affiliate to our marketplace to Big Table to Fast Cash. Anything you do with us now is inside of an academy structure. Thomas, do you want to say a little bit about this, you or Steve? I know we just wanted to kind of update the things in 2021 we did while we were hanging out at home, which we updated the Integrated Wealth brand, the website, and then the academy.
Right. And a lot of that was designed to get people better access to the courses and everything that they are involved with. So whether you're the Big Table, 100K Challenge, to Acceleration Coaching members, or even the video courses, everything is in that academy, very easy to access. And just as Ava said there, signed up as an affiliate, we even have affiliate courses for our partners in the affiliate space. So if you're selling Laurel's book, you're selling Laurel's board game, we have literally almost 10 hours worth of marketing tutorials, walkthroughs, examples, ad copy, swipe copy, everything you would need to be successful as an affiliate. It's all there in that academy session. So really happy to this year have everything set up in place to move to that online method that we talked about. Thankfully, having the infrastructure in place once the COVID shutdowns kind of happened, and we had to pivot on a dime. So really, this new online method of delivery really isn't going to go anywhere. Even once the vaccine is rolled out and it's essentially over, this online space delivery is going to be here for a while. So learn from our lessons, learn from what we did this year, and take that to heart. Jay, it is a great portal. A lot of good work was done on that from the team here.
Yep. And I will let Ava, Thomas, you can answer where the academy is and talk about that with her offline. And so anything that you need, again, we got a whole team out here that will be taking things offline and helping more one-on-one. But I do want to just say one of the fun things that I would love to challenge, and I know Thomas put it out the other day on our affiliate call, so we can put it out here now. If you want to put it into your 2021 plan, I want to prove a point, like I made my Millionaire Kids and then we wrote a book. So I'd like to prove that we can make six-figure affiliates. I just know we can, but you got to commit. So we have a process that I made up. I don't know. I mean, we kind of jointly made it up as a team, and it kind of got really clear a couple of weeks ago that if you bring us 10 people to the marketplace event, our ability with our team to probably put 4 of those people, if they're qualified people, into the Big Table would make you over $5,000. So if you do that twice a month, because we're doing our marketplace twice a month, next year we are committed to 24 marketplaces. So we're doing them on average twice a month. So if you, as an affiliate, bring us, and again, the tickets are $97. They can bring a guest. So you bring us 10, we sell 4, you make 5. We do it again the next within 2 weeks. I want to prove that you can make $120,000 a year just being an affiliate of ours, and you got to bring us 20 people a month, good qualified people. Right. So not just, pixel, drop-ins and little, half-baked leads, like people who really appreciate your influence. So anything else you want to say about that, Thomas? I'm excited about that. I want to prove that we can make 4 of you, which will take more of you, but I want 4 to raise your hand and tell Thomas that you want to be, taken under our wing, and we're going to prove that you can be a $120,000 affiliate in addition to everything else you're doing. I mean, it's what I did. What I was with Kiyosaki. Think about it that way. I was making over $500,000. Sometimes I think my biggest year with him was right under $1 million. And I was essentially affiliate. I was selling his stuff, but selling my coaching. So I would use his products in game because I didn't have any stuff, and I would use my coaching. It's not difficult. It is not difficult to do what I'm asking you to do. So I know I did it way back in the day. And so who wants to do it? You got some takers there.
Yep, we're actually going to give out a new link because we've had a number of people ask about this, that they've wanted an easier way to figure out where to get signed up as an affiliate. So literally what we're doing right now is putting that up. So
simple.
If you're interested, you want to go to asklaurel.com/affiliate. I'm typing that in right there. Oh, I need to give it to the right people.
There you go.
But asklaurel.com affiliate will get you to where you can sign up to be an affiliate partner in terms of selling Laurel's programs, books, and everything else that we have going on here, and earn affiliate commissions for doing so. Now, again, as Laurel talked about, in the past, we talked about how to make $120,000/$10,000 a month. One way would be to sell 3 board games. And what we kind of looked at is that's a great example to use for revenue modeling, for selling small stuff and moving up. But there's an easier way to do it, in a faster way, and that's just get 10 people to each event as we do them twice per month, and that would be the other way that you'd be able to do that. And there's plenty of interest, there's plenty of desire to learn about Laurel's conversation right now because of the economic, essentially, upheaval that's occurred in the last year, and unfortunately, it's not going away anytime soon. And there's so many things that people need to be learning about that this conversation really is something that anyone can have and needs to be having on a regular basis. So it's a perfect method for all you as affiliates to help other people out, serve them, and be rewarded for doing so.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to actually make one more. No, I'm not going to make any more announcements. That's good for now. And remember, the other half of this class is on January 5th, same time, 12 noon Pacific. So get a pen and paper. We're going to get some other things underway here. Then next Tuesday, we'll meet with you. The next Tuesday, we'll meet with you. And then January 5th, we're going to make big announcements. And then we'll make more announcements into 2021 and what our commitments are, not only to you as a community, but also to what we're going to be doing to grow. And Thomas knows the one we're going to be doing, but we can't tell you right now. I think it's just too many announcements right now. So let's talk about making a commitment. Let's move to the next slide and jump into some, got kind of two big bodies of content and two really fun campaigns that we're going to be inviting you into doing. So commitments versus resolutions. So, one of the things I always say is, people enter a new year and do New Year's resolutions. And that's kind of why we have this New Year, New You whole theme is resolutions are an interesting comment. And the two things that everybody comes up with, and maybe you can put in the chat now, it's kind of funny. You could tell us, in 2020, because nobody knew COVID. I mean, I guess it was kind of in the background and you knew it was going on in China and all that. But nobody knew what was going to happen in March. And nobody talked out loud and nobody predicted it. So 2020, I know when we entered 2020, I mean, my 2020 was going to be transition year. I just had that as a whole process. That didn't happen. If anything, we got to the playing field and we've been more active and so engaged because we know how to help you. You need our money and business help. So that kind of went out the window. But what was a 2020 commitment that you did? What was the result that you wanted in 2020? And notice I'm not saying the resolution. You could have called it that, but we're going to start atrophying that word. We want commitments and results is our language. We don't want resolutions because those are little soft comments. So most people say, well, I'm going to make more money and lose weight. Those are the typical two. Or I'm going to find the relationship of my life. I'm going to find my soulmate. What were some of yours things? When you walk in, if you think back 2020, January, I mean, I know that seems like 19 years ago. It was only this year. It was only 11 and a half months ago. But what were some? Let's put some in the chat. What were some of the things that you said you'd want 2020 to be? And then interesting, did it happen or not? I didn't transition. I mean, anything we did for 2020 is that got so blown out of the water. It was kind of cute. We were going to do a big summit. Remember, we were going to come back and do a big summit around the book launch. Well, the book didn't launch and the summit didn't happen. So, I mean, and I'm sharing things because notice I'm unattached to them. I don't see that this was a failing year. It was just a different year. And I think a lot of you, when you complete a year, especially one like this, you couldn't even compare this. I mean, 2008, 9, and 10 were like a damn walk in the park compared to what we've been through. Right. So, I mean, anybody who gets to say, you know what I like in 2022, it's like those years when you heard your grandparents or great grandparents say, I used to walk to school in the cold. I used to have to do all this shit, blah, blah, blah. It's like 2020 is going to be I had to wear a mask. We're going to be those parents and grandparents that are going to be like, you have no idea the hell we lived through. we're going to be that generation of weird people like that, or not. We don't have to be. I don't want to be.
Right. Well, and there's a good point to that, Laurel, because we're thinking about that. Obviously, we've been planning for 2021 over the past several weeks, and we were kind of thinking about it last week during one of the meetings on how much effort and time we put into finalizing the rest of the plan for 2020. And we did that about, February and March, right when everything went to hell in a handbasket, right? And you can't view that as a sunk cost you have to commit to. That has to be a thing that you pivot away from, no matter how painful it may be to do so. Understand that that's what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting picking up our 2021 documents and business plans. We hadn't touched them since February, March. We were week to week. Now what do we do? Now what do we do? Now what should we do? Now what should we make up? So I think a lot of you are doing that and doing it with us. So let's get into commitments. So it's interesting statistics, right? 88% of resolutions fail, and usually in the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then you're on to the next year, and then the same thing always happens, right? Over 200 million fails resolutions at least every year. Why? Because resolutions lack the actual commitment and the real action. So again, we mentioned earlier the SMART goals, being very specific about the result you want. And one of the things actually, and I'm making my to-do list for 2021. It's like action. I'm going to write down action equals a result. A lot of times, I'm just noticing, and I'm not going to be critical, but I'm going to give a little feedback too. Like, notice the cliches that some of you hang on to versus, like, I want you really dissecting. And it's one of the things I just have a gift. I just know how to like watch and see through it. Is what you're doing affecting your checkbook, your P&L? Is it really affecting it? Or are you just doing a bunch of damn busy work? And a lot of you, because you are and I'm not going to make fun of other people, even though I probably should and would, they have you doing a lot of busy work, a lot of busy things. And you may feel good in the moment, but here's what I know about money and your business. If your P&L is not growing, your checkbook's not growing, your ability to buy a team and to buy more and grow your company isn't happening, you are not feeling that successful. So there's a connection point to, and Bob Proctor's taught it to me this way. Give me your calendar and give me your checkbook, and I'll tell you what's important to you. And I think you really got to get real with that. And as we head into 2021, we'll make that a big point of really, I think, teaching that. Again, I haven't, taught it in a very broke down way on what's the formula to do that. But we're rigorous about it. I mean, our whole team, we work together here, in an office here in Northern Nevada, except for Thomas. He's one of our remotes. But we're really specific. Like, we just don't do what you do because your job says to do it. Is if it doesn't create a result by the end of the day, your day tomorrow better not look like that day again. Like, it's not just a grind. It's not like that. There's a creativity to it. There's a shift to it. And it's all in the intention of getting a result. Or why are you doing this? I don't want you to be pseudo entrepreneurs and just say, well, I'm an expert in blah, blah, blah. And then you actually have no result, or you don't have a growing result. Like those of you that have been with us since April, May, your commitment to a result should be headed towards 10,000, 15, 20,000 a month. And if you need to do it, here's what I'm going to say. And I did learn it this way, is if you need to do it with us and as affiliate, it's not a less than position to take. I did it with Kiyosaki and Sharon Lechter, right? I used their products, my coaching, and then I learned how to get the team. But I had a damn good big business behind me. By the time 97, 98, when the book became a bestseller, not in 96 when I started with them, I was following a Japanese guy in a game around. Nobody knew who Rich Dad Poor Dad was till really 97, 98, 99. So if you've got to use, say, use me, use it. Because a lot of you, like the amount of lessons, and Thomas finally disclosed to me yesterday, he told me probably not even go look at the affiliate site because I'd probably shoot him. So I understand that my team gave you like an unprecedented amount of marketing, sales, like a ton of resources out there, more than we'd normally even give people. So use our affiliate program. So call it like a network marketing company. That's another thing. Use somebody else's stuff, I guess, is the theme to figure out this action to a result. Some of you have just been busy in 2020, right? You were busy on a webinar that nobody bought from you. You were busy writing a book no one bought from you. You were busy building a bunch of stuff no one bought from you. That's not how we would teach you to do it. And there's a lot of programs you're going to, and you're backwards. You're divining something and no one has bought it. I need you back in our marketplace, back in our graduate marketplace. So you're selling stuff, then you go out and build it. You sell it, then you go build it. And it's a constant cycle. And a lot of you haven't figured that out yet. You think it's like a one-time thing. It's in everything we do. We don't do anything until someone pays us. We just don't. And it's so ingrained in our team now. We'll just launch something. So here's what it also does. During the marketplace where we ask you to go out and get 10 no's, it's like that. Like if we launch something and not a lot of people are attracted to it, we just say, well, that was interesting. And you put it aside and you go on to the another thing. So you don't have this weird failure energy around yourself. Some of you build something, you start doing something and no one wants it. And then you just sit and pout in your failure. You're like, oh, it didn't work. Nobody likes me. Nobody wants my stuff. No, they don't. So just get over it. The market will tell you what they want. So really be clear. This is I know I'm on the slide for a long time, but again, you're going to fail due to the lack of sequencing. And we really want you to say yes and figure out how and figure out who knows how. Inside our community, we have such rich skill set of clients. Like you all should be using each other more and resourcing each other and joint venturing to each other. You guys could be doing summits together. I look out here amongst those who are affiliates. Dr. Stacy did her own summit. I've been on her summits. You guys can do your own summits. I mean, some of you, I'm going to challenge you to do your summits, and then you can have me back as your guest to then sell my stuff to your affiliates. Now you get your 10 affiliates per event. And then once we have a great recording, like Dr. Stacy and I have a few really good recordings, she can replay them over and over and over to her list. She gets new people and continues to get people in the system. So you all have that capacity, or I'd say offer to do that. So really be clear on the action you're doing. Like, we're going to draw out your calendar. We're going to keep over and over and over asking you, do you have a revenue producing day? Right. And there's only one scorecard that's going to answer it, is, are you getting more leads, getting more sales, building a database, and growing in the infrastructure of your business? So really important you start connecting those dots. And so what we're going to do is go to the next slide, Steve. We're going to have you share your commitments. We really want you to be out loud. We have thousands of people over there. Our goal is to run ads to this group and grow our group. So we have a huge commitment of, in the next 21 days, to bring thousands more people into our Millionaires in Training Facebook group. So we want you to share your commitments over there. So the way you would do it is you're going to say your name and where you're from, right? So I'm Dr. Stacy. I'm from Toronto, Canada. And my commitment is, and again, be specific, measurable, achievable, very realistic, and have a time frame to it. So be very specific. We have a team that will be working our Facebook group. And as your commitment is accepted, we will put you in. We will give you feedback. If it's not a commitment, it's just a comment. And so our goal is to coach you to get a real commitment. So then, in the next 21 days, we want tons of your commitments loaded up in our Facebook group, and encouraging other people that haven't seen the broadcast to share their commitments. Because then we're in a conversation of really sharing. And then here's what I would do if I was you. If I see a commitment, and so let's say Tamar puts out a great commitment, and there's a possible joint venture and alignment, guess what? You're going to use our Millionaires in Training group, and you're going to say, hey, Tamar, let's jump on a phone. And maybe you and Jay jump on a phone, or you and Ava jump on the phone. So it's not just about joining the group. It's now let's interact. Let's be the most active group in the next 21 days and jam out there. Let's get everybody connected, get your commitments, know what other people really want. So 2021, you feel like you have, I'm going to say support group, but you've got a team behind you that is going to help you get this commitment. And in our coaching, because we're very accountable to it, is we're not going to get off of your commitment until you say, okay, I can change my mind. So changing your mind isn't just something you do, casually and say, yeah, I said I was going to make money, but it's just too much work. I'm not going to do it. Bullshit. You think I'm going to let you do that to yourself? That ain't going to happen. We're going to get right in there, coach you. Again, why we want you in fast cash. Fast cash is like what I call just the standard, where it needs to be 3 hours a week, at least go 1 hour a week. It's every Monday at 4, Wednesday at 4, and on Thursday at noon. And it's a place where you get to keep working on your commitment, work on your action, get back to our marketplace. And if you haven't gone to our marketplace, my gosh, I mean, you will make money. I teach for 8 hours and we do a marketplace for 8 hours. And it's a 16-hour course. You work through the weekend. We complete it on a Monday, wrap it up, tally it, and see who made money. Actually, I'd like to know how many of you out there have already been, and how much money did you make? And actually, for some of you, you came early on. You came in April or May. So I'd like a new number saying, like a Dr. Stacy, a Jay. Some of you were around way back in the day, Eileen. How much more money do you think you made because you were in our marketplace early? So how much money did you make, and how much more money do you think you've made since? Because I know some of you have leaped in your revenue because you came to our marketplace early in 2020. How much money did y'all make? Let's share. Get excited, celebrate each other.
I know just from some of the winners that we had this year, several people actually made over $10,000. I think 3 or 4 people won the event with over $10,000 is made. So it is a real event. It is something that people can have that opportunity to, test out that new business idea, quit that job, and get on to doing what they really want to do. So Eileen, awesome, $10,000. We had a number of people out there who did that here.
Yep. Come on, Dr. Stacy, give it up. I bet you've made at least 20, 30, 40,000. I bet you have too.
She has to do a lot of adding work right now.
Yeah, she's on a calculator going, so much I can't track. But then with your connections, Jay, come back on the graduate and make more money. So it's just, remember, the marketplace is always, always, always open. Yep, you need to step up your game because you didn't break 100.
Yep, there's Dr. Stacy, $7,890. Sorry there.
And some of you, you're just new to it. So you're going to come back and keep practicing.
Right. One thing I want to talk about real quick, Laurel, is that we talked about earlier is like if you get that no from the Ask, Tell, Ask, that's not a rejection of you as a person. The information you get from that is just a go or no go. right? Is this a go? People are interested. Awesome. Move forward. If it's a no-go, fine. Move on to the next idea. Move on from there. The Laurel says literally money is all over the place. You just don't know how to see it and how to get it yet.
Yep. All right. So again, action number 1, because we're going to send out an email. Action number 1 is if you haven't joined Millionaires Are Training, go join. And then action number 2, ready? Let's go to the next slide, is our first contest. We are launching, again, our New Year, New You 2021. And we are giving away, are you seeing that number on the screen? Over $10,000, almost $11,000 of gifts, prizes, education is going to be given away. So there's a website. It's called New Year, New You 2021. And it's a social sharing contest. So we have never done this before. Again, Team Great Minds made it up. And here's how it works. You're going to go to this site. You're going to fill out the form. So go to the right now, fill out the form and enter. And here's the prizes that we're going to be giving away. So $110,936 of social sharing contest. We're going to be giving that away. So here's what we're giving away. And if you are already in one of these programs, and you win, then we'll negotiate something else. We're giving 2 full 100K challenge programs valued at $15,000 away. 2 of you are going to win a 100K program because we're going to get both of you 2 making $100,000. We're going to give 4 expert money makeovers. So we don't do those. And even if you're my client, it's pretty rough to get one of those. We're giving 10 fast cash lifetime programs away. We're giving 2 real estate tour tickets valued at $1,000 for 2. So it's 2 for 2, giving 5 of those away. And by the way, we are going to be in March in Reno and June in Boise. We do have 2 tours set right now, already on the books. We're giving 10 Building Your Wealth Cycles 21-day wealth cycle plans. So that is me for hours walking you through thoroughly how to build your business or your wealth plan. And then the business plan, which is 14 days. And really the way you do those is concurrently. And those of you in the big table, you'll learn more about that tomorrow, where you do 21 days of wealth building inside of that 14 days of business building, because your business is one of the biggest assets of your wealth plan. That's how that goes together. I don't know if a lot of you have connected the dots. Your wealth plan is the big plan. The business plan is inside the wealth plan. We're going to give $1,000 of Laurel bucks. So you can apply anywhere you want. We're giving 10 of those. So just $10,000 away. And then $100,000 blueprint modules. So of the blueprint, I'm above the 100K, Steve and I, we recorded and laid out 39 modules of exactly how to make $100,000. So if you don't want to coach and you just want the modules in the blueprint, we're giving 10 of those away. So tons and tons of stuff. This is what this page looks like. So go to the page, sign up, and register. So here's how the social sharing works. You're going to enter and you're going to get 1 ticket. Now, you're going to go out to your social network and you're going to get your people to come enter. For every 1 person you get to enter a contest, you get 10 more entries. So now you get 1 person to enter, you get 11. You get 10 people to enter, then you will have over 100. You get 100 of your followers to come in, you have over 1,000 chances to win. So think of the entries like little, tickets, little raffle tickets. So you want to have as many chances to win that stuff as you can. And it's a social sharing contest. Even better, when you register, you'll have a unique code. That unique code will also be treated as an affiliate code. So as your people come into our world, social sharing, and join this contest, you also, as they continue to buy stuff, will be treated as an affiliate. So we have layered this thing up. There is not one excuse in the world. You can say, well, if I bring 100 people, because I knew that'd be some of your really smart first questions, is do I get the affiliate money if they finally, like, one point go buy the table or anything else? Yes is the answer. So we're going to take your unique code from this social sharing, marry it up to your affiliate code, and yes, we will track your people for you. And our goal is to build a huge list, a huge social sharing platform. We want everybody in the Millionaires in Training group. We want to grow that. I want thousands and thousands of people in 2021, new people saying, I want to become a millionaire. I want to learn to make money and I want to be in the marketplace. So our goal is to give you a vehicle, help us build, more people and help you make more money. Thomas, anything you want to add to that? Steve, you want to add to that? We're excited about it. I'm super excited about this contest.
Yeah, this is probably the most advanced and the most in-depth we've ever done with this contest. I've been a part of New Year, New You now for, I think, 6 years. And I don't know that we've given away this much in prizes, and I don't know that we've made it this easy to participate. So I'm really excited to see everyone, take a part in starting their transition between 2020 and 2021 the right way.
Yep. So if you have any questions, Thomas will be here and announcing. But again, bring us, just share it. There'll be a link. It's very clear. It's super laid out. Thomas, do you want to put your, you and Andrew's maybe email in here and then if you have something like you don't understand it, you're not very technical, that way you can enter, you get your code, how you use your code, and then how you go out and post all over social channels. But your people, you just can't post. They have to come and enter this contest, and then you get 10 tickets. So every one person gets you 10 more chances to win that big prize list. And if you already have all of that, which I don't think any of you have at all, we can always negotiate for what you win, because I know that's going to be another question that comes up. So again, if you have affiliates, how to use the contest, just email Thomas and we'll get that done for you. And again, to go to the next slide, our goal is to grow our Millionaires in Training. And remember, the more people out there for us is also out there for you, because we let you ask inside our group. We're probably the only community where we want you to make money inside our community. We don't want you to say, well, you can't post your stuff and go make money. We want you making money. I mean, when you're successful, we're successful, because that is our result for you, is to make cash.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Laurel Langmeyer, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Laurel's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Laurel? Visit asklaurel.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.